it look like before and what does it look like now?
Oh, no comparison, you know.
So we've still used the Aquascape pumps and we've used them in flooded suction. It is quite steep in a way. It was a bit tough at times.
This is natural and this is not chemical. So how long did you live here?
Oh, I've been here 20 years.
Did you have kids that used to use a swimming pool? Or
yes.
And so when it stopped being a swimming pool that was functional, how'd you decide about a ruck pond?
Well, I didn't want to go for another fiberglass pool full of chemicals.
Yes.
High maintenance.
Yeah.
High electricity bills. Australian bush block.
Yeah.
So I thought a natural bush pond, or what we call a swimming hole, or a billabong in Australia.
Yeah.
So I just thought it suited the aesthetics of the block.
And this is why I am in Perth, Australia, checking out beautiful Aquascape ecosystem water features by that young man, Tony Green out there. He's 1 year younger than me, so he's a young man. And believe it or not, this used to be a swimming pool and now is an Aquascape ecosystem recreation pond. So this is 3 years now this has been here?
Going on 2 years, I think.
I think it's 3.
Is it? Oh, okay.
So what is the difference? Compare and contrast what used to be here versus what's here now.
Oh, more pleasing to the eye. Easier maintenance, no chemicals.
Do you have any fish in here?
We have native pygmy perch.
Oh, you had some perch in here, huh?
Yeah, they're very small.
Yeah.
Very dark.
Well, you said pygmy, so yes.
Yes, they're native species.
Uh-huh.
And they're good for mosquito control.
I love it. You even got a handle in here for you to walk in, huh?
Yeah, that leftovers from the fiberglass pool, the stainless steel handrail. As we get older, we're going to need a hand to get out of the pond.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
So we've got some stone steps.
So what did it look like before and what does it look like now?
Oh, no comparison, you know, because the old fiberglass pool was empty and deteriorating, so it looked horrible. So when you look at the contrast, look at this pond now with the bushland around, just fits in nicely. Yep.
This is fantastic. I really appreciate the tour here.
This is a 6 metre by 4 metre compact swimming pond. This property used to have a fiberglass swimming pool right here. So we've moved the hole over a little bit. Some of this pool fencing was already here, which was great. Made it really easy to get the council approval. So yeah, we had to redig the hole. The owners spent some time cutting up the old fiberglass pool, having to slice it up with a grinder and truck it out. And then they had a hole that they didn't know what to do with. They thought about putting a garden here, and then fortunately for them and for us, they found us on social media and saw what we did and thought this would be a great use of the space. Something that they can enjoy all year round, and they really do. Kevin's retired and his wife is very near retirement, so they've got some grandkids, and they often have all the grandkids here jumping in and out of the pond off the deck and really enjoying it, so much more than they ever enjoyed it as a swimming pool. So yeah, when I first came out here, the pool was already gone and it was just a half a collapsed sand hole, and they just asked me what we could do, and this is it. This is what we did. So we've created a space down here. Kevin's down here every day. He scoops the leaves. He lovingly looks after this pond. The other thing they asked about here was having a feature waterfall. Since they've got this beautiful big steep slope up the top here, we wanted to have a feature waterfall. We knew that we couldn't do that as part of the filtration system because there really just wasn't room to get a wetland filter to the top, and also the considerations of having to run a higher energy pump to be able to lift the water that far. So we gave them a feature waterfall over here instead. So we've got lights all through this waterfall as well, so at night it's just magical down here. They can come down here and see the water gushing down the hill and really enjoy the ambience of the waterfall. So they don't run this one 24/7. They usually just have it running during the day or when they're down here and able to enjoy it, turning on for parties. It's a bit of a party pump situation. This is our wetland filter up the top here. I mean, how beautiful does a filter get? When you compare it to a swimming pool with a big ugly sand filter or cartridge filter, this filtration pond is just so beautiful in its own right. The other thing we did here for the first time was that we, instead of building the whole thing out of rockwork, we actually built a block wall here so that we could get a nice steep vertical side on this side of the pond without taking up the footprint of the rockwork, which is, for us at least, is a bit of a key to making a really usable space have quite a compact swimming pond. So yeah, so this one's 6 by 4, and there's a big chunk of it that's really very swimmable deep space. It's 1.8 metres deep, and we can achieve that by building this here as a block wall, and then we're clad with the same stone over the top of it, so it looks like a rock wall, and we've even put some lights into to the face of that, as you can see here. The other thing we've got here is we've got external pumps on this one. So we've still used the Aquascape pumps and we've used them in flooded suction. So much like a swimming pool, we've got a skimmer box just here where you can just empty a basket, really easy to use. And we've also used the typical pump vault that you normally use in a pondless vault or in an intake bay. And we've used a couple of the really energy efficient Aquascape pumps. We've got two of the EcoWave 5000s, which only draw 160 watts. So we've got two of those running 24/7. So it's a really energy efficient and economical system to run. So that runs our wetland filter and our jets. And we've got a waterfall pump there, which is quite a big one, the Aquaswitch 5000, which is about 24,000 litres of water that runs our waterfall pump. And we've got it hidden under the deck here. As you can see, you just put this back down and it's all hidden away, quiet, you can't hear a thing. Even with the external pumps, you still can't hear a thing. Mike, tell us a bit about some of the challenges you had building this one. Was this a difficult one to build?
The access wasn't too bad. Obviously some of this fence line was we removed to get access through. Just a steep driveway, bringing rocks up and back and forth with the bobcat. Other than that, just a little bit of tight access.
How did you build the waterfall? Did you have the machine down here or did you go up to the top?
To drive. We built the pond first and then we built the waterfall last. Just only wanted to have the machine in there once and track up to the top of the driveway to load the waterfall.
So they get a great view down from their house up there on the top too, into the pond and into the hills beyond. It's a beautiful site they've got up here. We're up in the hills of Kalamunda in Perth in Western Australia. Lovely little township and a beautiful area. So this is our access point here. We had to pull this bit of fence in and out to get in and out, and we reinstated this little bit of rock work here, so our machines had to come up and down this steep driveway. It is quite steep and it was a bit tough at times, but you use the right machines, anything's possible.
I love the view from in the house up
Fantastic,
here.
isn't it?
Yeah, so you look all down, and that's a much more pleasing thing, Kevin, I would imagine, to look at than just you said, the neighbors have a swimming pool over there. Use a chlorinated swimming pool, and you've got a natural rec pond, and you can hear it from up here.
Oh, you can on a still night. You can hear it.
Yep.
Inside the house.
So you've enjoyed living with an Aquascape ecosystem recreation pond.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's a lot easier to look after.
Than the pool was.
We got a lot of trees here, and a lot of debris comes off the trees and lands in the pond.
Uh-huh.
Now with a fiberglass pool or a concrete pool, you can see that on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
It's terrible.
Yep.
But you can't see it in there.
Well, it's natural.
It's natural, yeah.
Here he is.
Oh, it's just showing you the clean water. Look at that. You can actually drink that.
I actually did just drink it, and it tastes good.
Mountain water.
Mountain water. Hey, you know what? Aquascape ecosystem ponds, I don't think a lot of people drink the water. But you know what? This is natural and this is not chemical. This is what it's all about. It's all about working with Mother Nature, not against her. And you know what? This is how we grew up. You want to get healthy, drink stuff like this and not chemicalized, chlorinated water. So I love this little low entryway. He said he's got, what, 9 grandkids, Kevin?
Yes.
9 grandkids, and this is their little shallow area that they can walk right in off of this beautiful ledge. And by the way, this is how you naturalize an edge. A little bit of plants and a little bit of gravel and rock. And so nice to have this little shallow splash pool for the grandkids. Thank you, Kevin, for showing us this. That's a high five.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's what we do in the States, mate.
okay.
Thank you for showing us your beautiful Aquascape ecosystem pond.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
So instead of having a high maintenance, chemical treated swimming pool that didn't work, they've got a low maintenance, beautiful Aquascape ecosystem water features. I'm going to put a link to other swimming pool to pond conversions. More people need to be doing this because, listen, a recreation pond is enjoyable 365 days out of the year. This is their fall. It's starting to get cooler, 75 degrees here today, which I think is absolutely beautiful for touring ponds. But look at this. You get to enjoy this whether you're swimming in it or not. You can hear that waterfalls from up at the house. The birds, the nature that comes in here, it's easier to maintain. For me to be able to visit and see people living the aquascape lifestyle all over the world, it's got to be the world's greatest job. I absolutely was able to turn my hobby and turn it into my profession. And when I produce these videos, my goal is to inspire more people to live the aquascape lifestyle. I love my job.